This is Shauna Mace with Inspire Growth, and this is sales tip number 17 in a series for financial advisors to increase their sales acumen. So this one is all about organizing your messaging to make sure you're using it consistently. Now, why does this matter? This matters because most advisors, most business owners don't feel like they have really impactful messaging. They don't feel like it stands out, and they don't feel like they really are integrating it in their business, to the detriment of not reaching and not communicating what they want to as far as value and impact in the business. Like, why should someone work with me? What's different about me? That's a real struggle for a lot of advisors and business owners. And so one thing that I've found is that simply organizing your messaging in a way, in a structure, in a kind of an accordion structure where you start to practice it and you can really adjust and be flexible depending on the situation, can be incredibly helpful to ensure that you're actually using your messaging in communicating consistently in all areas of your business. So not just marketing in your website, but also your communications, even internally, or if you're networking. So really starting to be very, very intentional about saying the same things, sharing specific stories that you know are going to resonate and support your messages, and across, especially if you have a team, being consistent across your team. You get these firm stories, these firm messages that are just your go-tos, and you, with enough practice, you start to really figure out what works and what doesn't. So what I want to share with you today is this idea of actually organizing your messaging, not just writing out your messaging in a Word doc, but actually organizing it in a specific way. Now, I have a framework that I'm going to share with you. I'll show you a little quick preview here, but it's a framework that really calls out the different components of messaging that matter. So it's going to be your values and approach. So like, what are you doing? Your client's needs, why does it matter? And then your solutions and benefits, how you're actually delivering and solving for those needs. Now, I provide a structure to organize them. And really the key point isn't so much what's on the paper. The key point is that you want to distill those different kind of ideas around values, needs, and solutions into 3 key messages. So again, we as humans, we want to keep things simple, right? We can only remember so much. We really want to organize in, like, what are the key 3 messages that support these larger concepts? And then even a step below that, how do we show, not just tell, those key 3 messages? What are the evidence points, the validators or the proof points? This could be stories, these could be data points. We've talked about this before, but really important to show, not just tell. So when you organize your messaging in this way, it becomes less about memorizing what am I going to say, and more about understanding the key concepts and applying them as appropriate in the conversation or in the medium or format. And so it becomes a really helpful reference for you and your team for training someone new when you're bringing in a consultant or a marketer, to give them this reference that you're using in your day-to-day, but to actually use it. That's the key point, to really create something that you use in your day-to-day so that you're consistently communicating in all areas of the business, across your team. So again, if you don't have some way you're organizing framework for your messaging, this framework can be really helpful. But the point is to just think about, like, distill it down to the very basic core things that matter, and it's going to help you actually start to implement it and use it in the day-to-day conversations, and figure out how to make it your own, figure out how to get comfortable with it, because that's really the point. It's not as much what you say. I mean, that matters for sure, but a huge part of it is how you say it, and you have to make sure that you make it your own. So if you like this sales tip, follow me. There's more on LinkedIn at Shauna Mace, or visit us at inspiregrowth.co.